Hon Namugga, you are on a microphone. On the microphone, yes. On what we call the Lumu bill. It has been fast-tracked as that MOU you've been talking about. Few bills get the attention like that so quickly. Opposition parties were in parliament rejecting the bill. Why is your party rejecting the bill?
I should say, as a member of parliament from the opposition, I should apologize to the country amidst of the challenges that we are facing, including the Chitezi issues that we are just handling now. We are paying much attention on the Lumu bill. And if it was a bill in the interest of the people, we wouldn't have been calling it the Lumu bill. Unfortunately, I have at least the two sponsors of the bill are here in the name of government, Honorable Dr. Apea and Lydia Wanyoto, the Honorable.
Yeah, the sponsors. But all along we thought Lumu, Honorable Lumu is a member of your party.
No.
The NUP.
Seconded by Mbwate Kamwa.
No,
who's an NUP.
No, seconding is different. You should, Oscar, I think the country should know that Mr. Museveni made a commitment that by 2026 we shall have no opposition. And they should know that he's working hard. He's working hard to achieve this. So Honorable Lumu is a paid advocate, and I should say I should say Dr. Apea knows, because I don't think she's directly involved in this, but she also appreciates that the speed at which the bill is moving, there must be somebody behind it. When our team, the parliamentary team, went to Gulu, all of you observed that they were supposed to handle Gulu issues, but the Lumu bill began from Gulu. And remember when Honorable Sechikubo rose up to talk about the censure motion, they were told, the speaker outrightly told him to take back his manyanga to Kampala. So the Lumu bill was an affair of the people of Gulu. Apart from putting that aside, I should inform the country that whatever is happening now should be an eye-opener to all of us there as Ugandans. Number one, when you look at the Lumu bill, I want people to appreciate it in brief. The Lumu bill is about 4 issues. Number one, about how the leader of opposition should come into seat. Either appointment, nomination, whatever he calls it, of the leader of opposition. 2, on how the chairpersons of the 4 committees that take leadership in parliament, these are accountability committees, Park Central, Park Kosase, Park Local Government, and the Government Assurances Committee. Honorable Lumu wants us to take a new direction on how to pick on this leadership. Then how the opposition whip is appointed. And lastly is on how the shadow cabinet is appointed. Now, according to his proposal number 1 on the leader of opposition, Honorable Lumu wants the leading party to make a proposal of 3 names. Those names come to parliament, and all the parties in the opposition vote on that leader of opposition. 2, on the shadow cabinet. Even the shadow cabinet should be brought to parliament so that the members of the opposition and other opposition parties put in their input on the way the shadow cabinet is appointed. And that also includes the same process, includes the whip, the opposition whip, and leaders of accountability committees. I should inform the country that it's not that we are fighting the Lumu bill, but we are looking at the object within the bill. What is the intention of the bill? What do we want to cure? Number 1, I should inform the country that when we go into elections and a party emerges the winner, for example, for now we look at the NRM, our colleagues will comfortably tell you that when we implement the budget and all the plans of the country, we are implementing the manifesto of the NRM, which is very clear because the people of Uganda, voted for them. Whether they cheated or not, they are the ones in power. Party number 2 is National Unity Platform. The people of Uganda said if it's not NRM, you are the people who would have been in that front seat. So our manifesto is very important. Then other opposition parties took the different seats. So it is unfair in this multi-party democracy for somebody to think that a party that brought 1 member in parliament can take a decision on how this leader of opposition can come in. However, consultations take place. Consultations are there. But when you look at the intention of the bill, the intention of the bill is not to strengthen multi-party politics. Because just imagine, Oscar, Honorable Dul gave an example that for now in parliament, we have our colleagues in the opposition, but they have MOUs with NRM, directly or indirectly. For example, we have the Honorable Minister Amongin, Betty, is it she Betty? She's in the UPC. Just imagine if now we are to vote for the leader of opposition. Do you think Betty and these other so-called colleagues of DP, the UPC, would vote for the interest of the opposition? So if this, when you look at the bill, the intention of the bill, this is to weaken multi-party democracy. It will weaken the opposition further. One would ask Namugga, why are you so much interested in strengthening the opposition? I know these colleagues of ours know that in 2026 they will be on this side of ours. We want them stronger when they come in the opposition. So when NRM comes to the opposition, we want them stronger so that they can critique us very well. The reason as to why we have the opposition is to checkmark government. Importantly so, when you have a strong opposition, Dr. Appiah knows, when you have a strong opposition that can bring alternative policies, that can bring alternative ministerial policy statements, we make the government stronger. Countrywomen should know that the reason as to why we have multi-party democracy is to strengthen governance, not to weaken it. So when you look at these proposals, with due respect, Lumu is working for NRM. Whether they like it or not, it is out, out there it is known. Two, when you look at the way our opposite side nominates or appoints their leaders, for example, the leader of opposition, the other side would be their prime minister. Who is Dr. Appiah involved in any way or the other in appointing and nominating the prime minister? When you look at their cabinets, the cabinet ministers, how is the NRM and you MPs of the NRM, how are you involved in in approving? No, leave alone the things of bring them to the appointments committee. Appointments committee has members from the opposition, but very few. NRM takes the day, so they will do what they want. But I want to ask you, if Mr. Museveni brings, what can you do? The Kaboyos were rejected, but later they were brought back. So when we look at the whole circus behind that, when you look at their government whip, who appoints the government chief whip? Directly the president. That is the nomination of the president. He does it for himself all. Look at the shadow cabinet. I ask myself, what does Lumu want to cure? Number one, when you look at the composition of the shadow cabinet, we have members from different parties. The Honorable Jonathan Odul, our Constitutional Affairs Minister, is from the UPC. We have colleagues, ministers from different parties. So really, with due respect, Mr. Lumu should be told this is being used.
Thank you.
This is being selfish. He's serving as a as a paid advocate by their peers and the honorable Lydia Wanyuto, and they are comfortable. That's why you see her taking, sipping it comfortably, seeing the opposition be. Lydia has her best now. You know what they want? Lastly, their intention is to have Hon Ssenyonyi out of that seat by November. And Dr. Appiah knows that. Their intention. You saw the amendments that they were making. How do you censure a leader of opposition? And that is their move. Pass the bill, much as they are saying that the bill will be operational in the next parliament. One would ask, then why do you rush it? Lastly, Oscar, allow me to say this. Even if it's for the next parliament, it's not about person. The bill is not about Noop. It's not about Ssenyonyi. Whether you like Ssenyonyi or not, the bill is about Uganda. And I should inform Honorable Lumu, yes, God, it is God that brings these leaders. I know Bakaita Kasajja, Baina Kasajja, Ssenyonyi is young. When they see these young boys occupying these seats, they are also jealous. So tell them their time has not come. Let them wait whether 2035 their time will come to occupy these seats. But for now, let us not make laws for individuals. They should be laws for country and prosperity.
Thank you, Honorable Grace Namugga. I like your fire. Tony Kent, on the Lumu bill.
Well, for perhaps the person that is on the outside listening to us from whichever place it is, I am seated in the midst of Oscar and Honorable Namugga, so perhaps I'm the shock absorber, just in case. I want to make quick comments on what we have dubbed the Lumu bill, which is apparently supposed to be, by the right naming or nomenclature, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2024. Well, like Honorable Namugga pointed out, there is quite about 4 elements that fall into the picture. And maybe I would love to seek clarity, because I was trying to get into the depth of it, but I did not happen to follow the first reading that happened in Parliament. I was made to understand that Honorable Lumu is proposing that for the election of leader of opposition, the leading party presents the 3 names from which the rest of the opposition, the rest of them, shall actually elect someone. Not the approach that exists as of now, where the leading party, say for example, Lydia is now in the leading opposition party. She's the... Okay, that's interesting. And she makes a point of 2026, which also gives me a direction to fire her a question, perhaps. But my whole point being, if at all it is 3 members from, or rather 3 MPs from, let's say now the NUP, which is the leading opposition party, what pain would it be if it is from they that you choose a leader of opposition? Then number 2, looking at the aspect of how political parties have reacted to this is a little confusing, yet as well surprising. Why do I say so? I follow Honorable Namugga. She's been at the media spaces that I always operate, and that is the national broadcaster, and quite a number of others. Maybe because perhaps you fall to a side that is on the advantage, that is the advantaged side. Majority have been saying that we were not consulted by NUP before this idea came through. We were not consulted before Commissioner.
Which category is that?
I'm talking about the rest of you.
The rest of the members
the
of
rest
parliament?
of the opposition.
Members of parliament or parties?
Members of parliament,
Okay.
of course. And of course, that would for me mean that in this kind of arena, which is proposed by Honorable Lumu, it would give a better consensus, because he's proposing that consultation is made with the rest of the opposition parties before any kind of opposition stand is taken, and at that it would all be an involvement of the GEMAs, the FDCs, the well, apparently the political parties are off my head right now, but the whole point, we also have PPP, Abed Wanika.
Whatever
That is
Bidandisari's party.
Wow, I need to rejuvenate my history.
Santa.
I need to rejuvenate my knowledge on political parties. But all in all, I was of the view that this is something that is general. And then, of course, when Honorable Namugga spoke about next election being they in power and the leaders in the opposition, I'm beginning to think, if this law is against you, why worry about it when you'll be the ones in power and it will be the leaders to battle with it or battle it out at that. Yeah, but in a nutshell, I'm actually surprised that majority are pointing fingers at Joel Ssenyonyi. Honorable Wanyoto on the previous show last Saturday was speaking about how laws should never have eyes. But I want to say yes and no on one side and the other side as well, because what makes me say no is the fact that a law shouldn't target anyone. But the reality is a law targets someone, because that is why it comes. If we say we are bringing a law to handle thieves, we are targeting thieves. If we say we are bringing a law on
but not thieves,
yes,
theft,
you're
but
targeting
not a
theft.
personal.
yes, theft. Oh yes, okay, theft, not thieves. But who is the thief? Who brings about the theft?
Anyone.
Cross the line.
You become
You do not write a law for whoever has crossed the line. You we write a law so that someone who crosses the line.
And in that case, Joel Ssenyonyi is not going to be an LOP for life. If at all we are saying this is targeting LOP, the current LOP. So it could be.
I dare say you've missed that one, because
Seriously, Oscar.
if you say you have a law, then it should reflect some values.
No, but I'm
rather than
surprised.
individuals.
Actually, Oscar, why I'm surprised is the fact that everyone is pointing it at Joel Ssenyonyi, and I wonder what kind of threat he has become.
No, because they know what Lumu's thinking is like.
No, but good enough we have people that are directly attached to plot one in
I will clarify
Nakasero.
more.
Maybe they'll let us know, because Honorable Namugga could be having a different version
Well,
of
let
what
her
we have.
give her 2 minutes. When we get 2 minutes before we come to.
Now I think we
Dr.
must
Atima Peya.
we must face the reality now. For everyone that has been following Parliament and how events have been moving on, there has been a very serious battle between the office of the Speaker and the office of the Leader of Opposition. I should inform the country that ever since Joel Ssenyonyi took over office, all the staff, police analysts, political analysts, policy analysts, all those were withdrawn from the office of the Leader of Opposition. So the plot to demotivate, the plot to defranchise, to demean the office of Leader of Opposition began since the time Honorable Ssenyonyi came into office. So this plot that is moving on with Honorable Lumu's bill is a plot to do away with Joel Ssenyonyi. You heard the man tell you that ever since I became a LOP, I've never been invited for any single commission meeting, yet I'm supposed to be on the commission. So whoever has been following Parliament, it has not just come now on the bill. The thing has been moving on. So that's why we are telling you that's the intention, and that's why they made an amendment of how do we censure. how do we remove a leader of opposition from parliament? And they had made a proposal of incompetence, and they asked them, what does incompetence, how do you measure incompetence? So it is a very, very funny bill. That is why in the first proposal, for whoever has been following the bill, they thought the proposal had so many things, only to be gazetted as a bill on opposition, just opposition alone. So if you've been following this bill in a nutshell, it's about targeting Ssenyonyi for now, and the others will happen in the future.
So who is Honorable Lumu working for? Because that question has often fallen into the public space.
Yes, I would really start from that point, that Lumu has a right as a member of parliament to come up with a private member's bill. To say that he's working for somebody or somebody sponsoring, as my colleague Honorable is saying, I think that is not being very fair to honorable members of parliament. In fact, it will be kind of discouraging some of us who want to even bring maybe more tough bills than the one of Lumu. So nobody is sponsoring him, and I'm sure he's doing it with his own right mind. Oscar, issues of electing leaders in parliament is not something new. I think during the time of Honorable Lydia, the parliament used to even vote for their leaders of the committee. Honorable Lydia, isn't that the case?
No, me, I've never been a member of parliament.
Okay, you were in Iyala.
I was in Iyala.
But if you read our previous rules and some of these rules of parliament, rules of procedure, that committees were electing their leaders. The way now the leaders of opposition appoint their accountability chairpersons, and the party in government appoints also their leaders like that. So for me, I think the issue of election or voting leaders in parliament shouldn't be a very big deal. The question we should be asking now is, what is that defect in the law that Lumu is trying to address? If it is not there, by the way, the bill has not yet even been brought to parliament. Who says that? No, the first reading, yes. But who says that the bill will be passed? We are just being, there's a lot of assumption. There are a lot of pessimism.
Dr. Agnes, our team appear. In this parliament has created interesting times. The former leader of opposition was mostly supported by members of the NRM. So members of NRM would sit like you're seated there, and they were the ones supporting the leader of opposition.
So that is
before Ssenyonyi came. So now,
but for me,
again, as you say, we have members of NRM who are supporting Honorable Lumu.
Personally, I work on facts. I really kind of want to see the bill, the second reading, and members of parliament will be given an opportunity to discuss the bill. So for me, I think that is, like, for example, he's meeting now the opposition, and the opposition have said no. I'm also hoping that when it comes to parliament, we are going to ask those questions. What is it that you really want to address? I've been following some of those things, that some of the issues is even actually not understanding some of the things that he has proposed in his own bill. So for me, I saw it. So I think we should give Honorable Lumu an opportunity and a benefit of doubt. Let him continue. When he comes on the floor, he should be able to defend and see if his bill will carry the day or not.
You missed the point. We'll go to Lydia here, but Namugga said that you are sipping coffee just like that.
I'm sipping Arabica coffee from Mount Elgon, and it's a cool morning in Kampala.
No, this is me. Okay, so
conclude.
So for me, I wanted to conclude by saying that, one, the country is aware that government has promised us in parliament that they are bringing a comprehensive constitutional amendment bill. And so this could be one of the things that government is also proposing. But if Honorable Lumu feels that this is something that he can pick on
very
and
urgent.
Follow it, and it's urgent as we are seeing, I think we need to just give it a benefit of doubt and let us put it on the table, discuss it, and see if it is something that the country actually needs now. Otherwise, by talking, because I've heard him also talk, Lumu, starting to say, why are people very interested in this bill? But the idea of saying that the government is sponsoring is NRM bill or what, we have over 300 members of NRM. If we want a bill, one of us can come up and bring a bill. But this one, it is an opposition member of parliament bringing his bill and is actually discussing issues of the opposition.